He looks at you across the table. Not a word, not a smile, just that pause. That second where the world goes quiet. He's mid-sentence, but he loses it because your eyes just told a story his body understood before his mind could catch up. And in that moment, he's not thinking about your makeup. He's not remembering what you said 10 minutes ago. He's just sitting there aching, throat a little dry, blood rushing south, wondering, what the hell is it about her? Let me tell you what it is. It's not your dress, not the curve of your hips, not even the arch in your back when you walk away, though trust, all of that helps. What hooks him is the invisible. What makes him throb is the thing he can't name. It's your energy, your presence, the unspoken spell you cast without even trying. My friends, this isn't about seduction. It's not about how to be hot. It's about becoming unforgettable. Because when a woman understands her power, not just in her looks, but in her vibration, when she knows what lies beneath her skin, she doesn't have to chase desire. She commands it. Now listen, before we go deeper, press that like button. Hit subscribe, not because it's cute, not because I'm begging, but because what you're about to hear is not some recycled advice. I'm putting my soul into this content. I'm bringing you fire, depth, psychology, truth. If you feel that even in the first minute, then show love back. Because we're not playing surface games today. We're cracking open something sacred. Hey, ladies, imagine this. You walk into a room, calm, quiet, no extra effort. Your dress hugs just right, but it's not the fabric they remember. It's that aura, that scent of mystery, that energy that moves before your body does. You don't say much. You don't need to. Because when you lean in and whisper, you and me would be dangerous together, he doesn't just hear it. He feels it in his chest, in his spine, in the parts of him he only touches when no one's watching. That's what we're here for, the 6 truths that make a man burn for you. Not temporarily, not just for a night, but in a way that sticks in his subconscious like a spell he can't undo. Carl Jung taught us that men aren't driven by logic. They're moved by symbol, energy, myth. And when you learn how to become the myth he's been unconsciously waiting for, that's when the real game begins. So let's not waste time. You ready to awaken that kind of power? You ready to stop performing and start possessing? Because this isn't a list. This is a ritual. These aren't tricks. They're truths. So write this in the comments, loud and proud. I am the spark. I am the signal. I am the storm. Write it. Claim it. Let every woman reading feel it echo through the screen, because from this moment forward, you don't ask to be desired. You walk like you already are, and baby, you are. Stay with me. It's about to get deep, and it's about to get dangerous. Chapter 1, the erotic shadow. Real intimacy isn't when he takes off his clothes. It's when he lets you see what he's never dared show anyone else, and you don't blink. You want to know what makes a man truly ache for a woman? Not just want her, not just fantasize him, but feel a pull in his chest and between his legs every time her name comes to mind. It's not the body, it's not the moan, it's the mirror, the one you become when you reflect back to him what he's never had the courage to face alone. Imagine this, my friends. He's walking through the world armored up, sharp suit, controlled tone, that steady masculine mask everyone expects of him. But deep inside, he's carrying shame, regret, that boyhood wound, that rage he's not proud of, that softness he never shows. And all his life he's been told, hide it, bury it, man up, until you show up, not with therapy, not with pity, but with eyes that say, I see it, I won't run. That unlocks something. You ever wonder why a man seems obsessed with a woman who wasn't the prettiest, the most impressive, or even the most available? It's because she saw him, not just the part he posts online, not just the provider or the protector. She saw the hidden part, the wolf under the skin, and she didn't look away. And he melted, and he hardened all at once. You want to awaken real, primal, psychological arousal in a man? Don't just touch his body, touch his shadow. Let your presence say, you don't have to be perfect with me, you just have to be real. That's not seduction. That's spiritual possession. And baby, once a man knows he can crumble in your arms and still be met with warmth instead of judgment, that's when his deepest desire wakes up. Not the shallow kind, the kind that doesn't fade, that stays, that builds. So let go of the idea that you have to shine bright all the time. The most erotic light comes from the woman who isn't afraid of the dark. Say it in the comments. I can hold the shadow. I see his truth. I am his sanctuary. Write it down, because what's coming next isn't light either. It's the flame, and it's about to burn. Stay with me. Chapter 2, the mirror of his feminine, anima seduction. You don't become his fantasy by pretending to be what he wants. You become unforgettable by echoing what he never knew he needed. There's a woman living inside every man, not literally, but energetically. She's not real in form, but she's deeply real in feeling. Carl Jung called her the anima, the internal image of the feminine that lives in his unconscious mind. She's his symbol of softness, of soul, of mystery, of surrender. And when you awaken her, he doesn't just desire you, he remembers you. My friends, and this is where seduction becomes sacred, because that anima, she isn't one thing. She's 1,000 shades of woman. Sometimes she's soft-spoken, nurturing, all-accepting. Other times, she's wild, she teases, she disappears mid-sentence and lets the silence haunt him. She dances between chaos and calm like she was born there. And when you, as a real breathing woman, embody even a flicker of that inner feminine he's unconsciously held inside, it triggers something so deep, he doesn't even understand why he's addicted to your presence. Let me give you a picture. He's sitting across from you at the wine bar. He's cool, collected. You're smiling, gently, quietly. You're listening with that soft gaze that says, I hear the words, but I feel your essence. He's talking, and he feels grounded. Then you lean in, eyes low, voice playful, fingers tracing the rim of your glass like you've got a secret. You and me, we'd ruin each other, in the best way. Now he's not thinking about dessert. He's not hearing the music playing. He's not even sure what he was saying before. He's in you, mentally, emotionally, erotically, without touching a damn thing. That's anima seduction. It's not about giving him what he asks for. It's about feeling what he's aching for and reflecting it, not by being fake, not by guessing, but by tapping into your own feminine multiplicity, because you're not one note. You are peace and provocation. You are mystery and meaning. You are the lullaby and the lightning. And when you let those different parts of yourself rise in rhythm with his energy, you don't become the woman he wants for the night. You become the woman he craves for the next decade. He won't even be able to name why. He'll just keep returning again and again to the space you created between the seen and the felt, because this isn't physical seduction. It's psychic foreplay. So let go of the idea that you need to be his type, and instead become his mirror. Let your feminine expression be a reflection of the woman he never knew he was carrying inside. That's not manipulation, that's magnetism. Write it in the comments right now. I am his reflection. I awaken his anima. I am the whisper in his mind. Write it like you mean it, because what's coming next is the polarity that keeps him obsessed. Stay with me. Chapter 3, Erotic Polarity, the Alchemy of Contrast. The feminine that arouses a man isn't soft or strong, it's both. It's the one who kisses like a poem, then bites like a promise. Let me say this loud and clear, my friends. Men don't fall for predictability. They fall for polarity. They crave contrast, not confusion, not emotional games, but that wild, sacred tension between chaos and calm, storm and surrender, breath and bite. You want to keep his eyes locked on you when you're not even in the room? You want him thinking about you at 2 a.m., hand under the covers, whispering your name like a confession? Then don't show up as just one thing. Show up as every damn shade of woman you are. Picture this. He sees you in the morning, quiet, wrapped in his shirt, hair wild, eyes soft, making coffee like the queen of comfort. And in that moment, his heart, it softens. But that night, you're straddling him like a storm, looking down at him like you own every inch of his soul. You whisper in his ear, "You still think I'm that sweet girl from this morning?" Now he's the one softening and hardening all at once. That's the power of erotic polarity. That's the alchemy of contrast. Because when you are one-dimensional, always the sweet girl, always the chill woman, always the one who doesn't ask for too much, he forgets you. But when you show up layered, when you are soft and sharp, gentle and wicked, spiritual and shamelessly sensual, now he doesn't just desire you, he can't figure you out. And that mystery, that depth, that texture, it keeps his nervous system hooked. He doesn't know what version of you he'll meet next, but he knows he needs all of them. This is not about being performative or unstable. This is about owning your full feminine spectrum. The fire, the flow, the innocence, the seduction, be the lullaby and the leather. Because here's the truth. Flat lines don't make him rise. It's the peaks, the dips, the switch between yes, baby, and don't fucking touch me like that unless you're ready to surrender. And the moment he realizes you can give him every version of what he's never admitted he wants, he's done for. So don't dim your range. Don't tone yourself down to be easy. Be the entire storm system. Write it in the comments. I am contrast. I am the rhythm. I make him rise. Because what's coming next is the part of him every man secretly wants seen, the part that turns attraction into devotion. Stay with me. Chapter 4. Activate his inner hero and watch him throb. A man doesn't crave praise, he craves purpose, and when a woman sees his strength before he even proves it, he rises. Let's get this straight, my friends. Every man, no matter how polished, how powerful, how put together, has a deep, burning desire to be your hero. Not in the cheesy fairy tale way, but in the soul-stirring, heart-throbbing, blood-rushing to his core kind of way. He doesn't want to save you. He wants to rise for you, not because you're weak, but because your energy demands greatness, and because your gaze says, I see the man you're becoming, and I like what I see. That's not flattery, that's psychological arousal. Imagine this. You're sitting in the passenger seat. He's driving, focused, silent, gripping the wheel like he's holding the weight of the world. Maybe he's had a rough week. Maybe he's doubting himself, even if he won't say it. And you lean in, not with a compliment, but with a truthful reflection. You know what I love about you? You show up, even when it's hard. That's rare. Now watch his jaw clench, his chest rise, his hands tighten just slightly on the wheel. You just activated his masculinity, not by coddling it, by honoring it. This is the secret women overlook. You want to turn a man on in the deepest sense, and you want to make him ache for you long after the lights go out. Don't just tell him he's sexy. Show him that you see the weight he carries and that you respect the way he holds it. Not all men want to dominate, but every good man wants to lead where he's trusted. When you become the woman who reflects his integrity, discipline, purpose, he doesn't just feel strong, he becomes stronger. And when he feels that hero energy in your presence, and he doesn't want to fuck you, he wants to claim you, he wants to earn you again and again, because he knows you're not looking for a rescuer. You're looking for a man who can meet your energy with presence. And baby, when you make a man feel trusted, not because he's perfect, but because he's showing up, that trust, that arouses him more than anything under lace. So don't play small to keep him comfortable, and don't shrink to stroke his ego. Let your standard be the seduction. Let your respect be the rope that pulls him closer. Let your eyes be the mirror that makes him remember who the hell he is. Write this in the comments. I see his strength. I awaken his purpose. I don't chase, I challenge. Because what's coming next is where seduction leaves the physical and enters the sacred. Stay with me. Chapter 5, the sacred erotic, be the portal. The deepest sex doesn't make his body tremble, it makes his soul kneel. This is where the games stop, where the cute fades, where the surface dies and the sacred begins. My friends, let's talk about sex. But not the version sold on screens and timelines. Not the one that's all noise, no depth. I'm talking about the kind of intimacy that rearranges a man's spirit. The kind that doesn't just arouse him, it alters him. You want to be the woman he never forgets? Not the one he enjoyed, but the one he felt himself meet God through? Then hear me now. You are not a performance. You are a portal. Your body, it's not just soft and curved and kissable. It's sacred ground, a place where his soul gets to breathe, where his ego can die, where something ancient gets awakened. Because yes, he wants your skin. Yes, he wants the moan, the arch, the wet heat of your thighs. But what etches you into his memory forever? is when your touch says, I trust myself enough to let you feel me. That's not sex, that's sacred eroticism. And you don't get there by trying to be perfect, you get there by being present. Stop worrying about your angles, stop faking the sounds, stop trying to turn them on, and start being turned on by your own damn self. Because when you let your pleasure flow freely, when your breath moves without control, when you open without fear, he doesn't just feel turned on, he feels invited to worship. And let your body say, when you're inside me, I want you to feel heaven. And baby, when you do that, he won't just come back, and he'll crave you in moments he can't explain. Driving to work, in the middle of a meeting, at night, alone, haunted by the sound of your breath in his ear and the energy you left in his chest. Because this wasn't just sex, this was sacred memory, a place he wants to return to. Not for pleasure, but for peace. So don't give him a show. Give him God. Write this in the comments right now. My body is sacred. My pleasure is power. I am the portal. Let those words touch you. Because next, we go deeper than body. We touch wholeness. And baby, it's going to change the way he sees you forever. Stay with me. Chapter 6, the mirror of wholeness, the soul bond. The deepest arousal doesn't live in your body. It lives in your ability to look into his soul and not flinch. You want to know the most unforgettable turn-on? The one that keeps a man circling your energy like a planet to the sun? It's not the lingerie. It's not the perfect arch in your back. It's not even the way you taste when his mouth is buried between your thighs. It's the moment he realizes she sees the part of me I've never shown, and she doesn't run. That, my friends, is forever fakeable. Not because it's dirty, but because it's divine. You become the mirror, not just for his strength, not just for the man he shows the world, but for the part of him that doubts, that wounds, that wonders if he's ever truly enough. And when you hold that mirror steady, without judging, without fixing, without flinching, you awaken something ancient inside him, desire that isn't just primal, but existential. He doesn't just want to be inside you, he wants to be seen by you, he wants to be known. And here's the sacred truth. Lean in, baby. You can only mirror his wholeness once you've faced your own. You want to be the woman who unlocks a man's deepest devotion? Then stop performing, stop chasing, stop shrinking yourself into roles you never asked for, and start becoming presence itself, still, rooted, awake. The kind of woman who can look a man in the eye and say, without saying a word, I see the storm inside you, and I'm not afraid to dance in it. That's not love. That's not lust, that's transcendence. That's the soul bond, the space where he stops looking for someone hotter, sweeter, easier, because he's already met the woman who knows him in ways he's never dared know himself. And when you give a man that kind of experience, and he doesn't just desire you, he wants to evolve for you. He wants to become the version of himself you already see. So don't just touch his skin. Touch his unloved parts and touch the potential he buried. Touch the truth he's afraid of. And when he meets your gaze and realizes she sees everything and still stays, that's when he can't leave, not even if he tried. And that, my friends, is the real secret. Not how to get his attention, but how to keep his soul tied to yours. Not through performance, but through presence, through power, through depth. So if this lit something inside you, if you felt your own feminine rising as you listened, don't keep it to yourself. Press that like button, hit subscribe, and most importantly, share this with another woman who needs to remember who the hell she is. Because we're not chasing love around here. We're becoming the kind of woman it can't forget. I'll see you in the next one.